started making hummus, so you can call me your hummus hustler. That's what Ryan called me, which made me laugh.
Oh, that's what you should call it, the Hummus Hustler.
Hummus hustler, and then he called me a hoe. He was like, "You're the hummus hoe, but you're the hummus hustler." At the same time, we're both. I was like, "Okay." And then I like to say the dip dealer,
I like that too.
but the hummus hustler made me giggle. So yeah, that's my newest venture.
A little hummus hoe.
Yeah, you're my hummus hoe.
Theme of the day.
Yes.
Toe day.
Hey there. Welcome to Parties to Playdates. I'm Kendall.
And I'm Jess. We're here to fill your day with warmth and laughter.
Join us as we navigate the chaos and joy of everyday life.
We're all about sharing real-life moments with a dash of humor and practical tips.
So grab your coffee and settle in for a cozy chat.
Because here, every moment is a story worth sharing.
No topic is off limit.
And every listener is a friend.
Let's get this party started. Hello, girl.
Hey, Kendall.
How are you?
I'm doing good.
Yeah.
On my way here, Andrew called, and I was like, pronto, because I was in the middle of an Italian lesson. And he was like, don't start with that. And I was like, I'm just trying to practice. At first he said, what did you say? And I said, pronto. And he was like, oh my God.
What does pronto mean?
That's how they answer the phone.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. So instead of saying buongiorno or salve, I feel like there's another one they say, but for the phone they say pronto.
How interesting. Well, you guys, you probably hear the rain. It is a very beautiful day.
You might even be able to see it a
Yeah.
little bit. We'll see. I don't know.
It is coming down.
It
but
is.
It's so soothing.
It is nice. Me and Kendall might just take a nap for this whole episode.
Which
We'll
I
do a
probably
little-
will snore.
We'll do a little ASMR rain action. Just Kendall snoring and a light rain in the background.
Beautiful.
That would be so good.
Lovely. I
Look,
love.
she'd be right back here on that pillow.
Oh, it's so nice. I've taken so many good naps back there.
I bet you have.
Usually, like in the hot summertime, for some reason, it was like just so nice to just lay there and take a hot nap. Yeah, it's cozy.
Let's do it.
What's been going on, girl?
Well, this past week or so, just in the last couple of weeks, my daughter's laptop got, we thought stolen at first, but then it was found. And somebody found it like on the side of the road in a different city where she had been in a couple times. And when she was messaging this person to get it back, the messages were kind of weird. Like whoever had it, English wasn't their first language. And so you could see some like weird translation stuff happening, but they said they were going to drop it off at this Dunkin' Donuts, like near where it got lost. And when she was trying to figure out, like, is it there already? Are you going to take it there today? She's just trying to verify because it's like a 45-minute drive to get over there.
Yeah, it's a mission.
And in the middle of the text, he says, yeah, I dropped that hoe off. Like
Stop.
talking about the computer. And I was like, well, that is a funny choice of words. And then at the end of it,
God.
he was like, I hope you do well in school, co-felt, and have a great life. I'm going to delete all of these text messages, this whole text chain. I'm going to delete this. Don't worry. Like, I know you're a minor and I'm going to delete all this kind of thing. And then she's like, okay, thanks. And then he says, yeah, call me anytime. Call or text anytime. And I was like,
What?
what? It was so random with an LOL though. So I think they were trying to be funny, but then at the same time I was like, is he trying to rizz her up at the same time?
I don't know.
It was really random. So she sent me the screenshots and I was reading through them and I was like,
First off, LOL to the hoe.
yeah. And so when she went to go pick it up, I was like, go pick that hoe up.
Go pick it up, hoe.
Yeah, it was really
Do we
funny.
know how old the person was? Did you ever see him or anything? Or
We never
nothing?
saw him or
Did we
anything
get a
because
name?
he literally, I'm pretty sure it was a dude because he had been calling. He found a business card for a school counselor of her previous school in the computer bag.
That is
and
crazy.
so
Oh, it was the whole bag.
Yeah.
I thought it was just the computer.
no, it was
Okay.
the whole bag. The computer bag and like in the outside was like a phone charger and she got everything back. Nothing was
Wow,
damaged at
that
all.
is so lucky.
And so I don't think he even opened the computer because she had set it to where you can put a message on it when it's lost to where if somebody opens it, it says like, give it back.
So smart.
Ho, give it back, ho. But she had put her phone number on that lost message so somebody could contact her. So I don't think he even opened it up because he was just calling the old school over and over again because that's the business card that was in the side. And then that counselor eventually called the high school and talked to like the SRO there. And then he knew that she was missing her laptop. And so he was like, hey, I think this person has your laptop. And so then she just texted him to get it back. But yeah, she never saw him. And the people at Dunkin' Donuts were like, I can't believe he didn't keep this. They were so amazed.
Oh my God,
that
well,
he
'cause
had
he's a good citizen.
that he had returned it. And he, even in the messages, he said like, I'm so glad I found it. He said he was like walking around with it, like exposed. So if anybody, whoever lost it, saw it, they would be like, oh, that's mine. But yeah. Isn't that wild?
So he found it on the side of the road?
Yeah. Like
what was he doing? Like walking?
I don't know. We didn't get that detailed into the messages.
Because it's a weird spot to be
It is a weird
walking.
spot. But she said, I think what happened is I think they stopped at like a gas station or something. And I think it was in her, like the floorboard of her back seat. And she's always with a bunch of friends. And I think it was to the side when they opened the door and it just fell out. Or somebody kicked it out when they were getting in and didn't realize. And then she just drove off. I think that's what happened. We don't really know, but I don't think it like was on the top of her truck or somewhere where it fell off a distance, because there was like, it was perfectly fine.
That's crazy. She's so lucky.
She is so lucky. Her friggin' MacBook Air or Pro or something. It was not a cheap computer.
She is so lucky on so many levels from you guys, from not being mad at her.
Yeah.
Not having a broken computer for school. I mean, it's nice. Like all the things, all of it.
Yeah. She's like, I knew I was going to get it back. And I'm like, if anybody is going to find it, it would be you, because she's my finder. She always finds all the lost things. So, okay.
She's got good juju around her.
She does.
That is so cool. There's people like that where I'm like, how does this always happen to you?
Yeah.
Like things happen and then you're like totally fine. And I'm like, how are you so lucky? Well, good for her.
What about you, Earl?
That's
What's been up?
awesome. So what's new in my life is I started making hummus.
Oh my gosh, guys. It is really good.
I started making hummus, so you can call me your Hummus Hustler. That's what Ryan called me, which made me laugh.
Oh, that's what you should call it, the Hummus Hustler.
Hummus Hustler. And then he called me a hoe. He was like, you're the Hummus hoe, but you're the Hummus Hustler. At the same time, we're both. I was like, okay. And then I like to say the dip dealer.
I like that too.
But the Hummus Hustler made me giggle. But yeah, I started and I did my very first farmer's market on Thursday.
Oh, that's
and it
so
was
fun.
fantastic. It was so fun. It was honestly like, I've always wanted to sell at farmer's markets. I didn't know what exactly. I've been talking about hummus for years, selling at a farmer's market, but it's always very intimidating to like put yourself out there and be vulnerable and be like, here's the product that I personally made. And I think it tastes good.
Yeah.
It's not like a craft where like, it's just like your eyes, but this is like your mouth and your body. It's different than like crafts and stuff, but it was very scary. However, I had so much fun. I had such a good time. I started with beet hummus years ago, and then I did a carrot sriracha one, which those two were both very, very popular. And then I made a sweet pea and dill, which was delish.
Ooh.
Yeah, and then a black bean.
Yum.
Yeah, and so I may go different every now and then. I don't know what my plan is, but on Thursdays, I'm for sure going to go out on a limb here and risk it for the biscuit and totally sell hummus like all day Thursday.
I love it. I'm so excited.
You
did let me taste like 3 of those flavors. Oh, they were all really good.
I will say I did tweak a few after, and I think you'll like the carrot sriracha better now, but it is, they're so good. So yeah, that's my newest venture.
A little hummus hoe.
Yeah, you're my hummus hoe.
Theme of the day.
Yes.
Toe day.
So yes, Thursdays I'll be selling at the Grayton Beach Farmers Market in the morning, and then at night there's a women's market in Hammock Bay at Props.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I'll be doing a dual
I love
dual
it.
market. Yeah,
That's so fun. I'm
It'll
so
be
excited
exciting.
to see how it goes.
yeah,
I think you're going to kill it. You're going to have to create a hummus factory.
that has to be
We're
a
just
good
going to be
name.
shipping out thousands of hummus to
There
you
we
guys.
go. There we go.
Hit Kendall up if you want to buy some hummus.
Whoop, whoop.
We'll do some custom orders.
Yeah, girl, we can.
Shipping not included.
No, no. We could deliver in a small radius.
There
but-
you go.
Or you can come pick it up. So that's been new and fun and exciting.
That's wonderful.
And there's 10 hummus containers in the fridge. And Ryan's like, we cannot have this many containers of hummus. You're taking up space. So this is our part 2.
I know. Our part
Of the
2
babies.
of the babies.
Yay.
Kendall is out of babies.
I am out of babies.
We need to get her some more babies, guys.
Come on now. I know.
She wants one. Somebody put one in her.
Literally.
I
Or
mean,
just-
Ryan.
Yeah,
do it.
Ryan. Or just hand me a baby. If you don't want it, I'll take it.
I love it. Yeah. So let's see. I got through my first 2.
Now we're on to the boys.
Now we're on to the baby boys.
Yeah.
So my 3rd pregnancy was very interesting because Andrew got deployed when I was probably 6 months pregnant.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. So his deployments were usually like 15 months long. And so
long.
and during those 15 months, you always get like 2-week leave during your deployment. And so what we
Do you get to choose your 2 weeks?
you can request specific weeks. So we had planned on him requesting around my due date so that hopefully he was there for the birth of his first son. So he got deployed. I was super pregnant. I was with the same midwife that I had with my second, which was really nice and kind of comforting. And then it was getting close to my due date. He said, when do you think I should do it? And I had him come a little bit before because I was like, I have a feeling this one's going to come early. And he was like, okay. So he did it a little bit before my due date. I think the due date was maybe right in the middle of the 2 weeks. I'm not sure. And so he put in for his leave. And so we got the weeks that he requested. So he came home and we just had a good time and I was ready to pop. And about a week in, I started having contractions, just pre-labor kind of whatever. And then by the end of his 2 weeks, I was like 5 centimeters getting closer to having a baby, but it wasn't really progressing. It was contractions, nothing super consistent. And my midwife was like, what do you want to do? Do you want to try and help things along? Because there is natural things that you can do to kind of induce labor for a natural home birth. So we were doing, I think it was a castor oil smoothie that had like oranges and something in it. It was not great, but it was not terrible. That really didn't do much. I was doing a lot of walking, other random things I can't even remember. And then the doula with the amazing arms.
I forgot about the arms.
I talked about her last time. With the amazing arms, she said that she had recently read in like a medical, a midwifery
Journal or something?
article that there was like cervical pressure points that can help induce labor. And so we tried it and
It's graphic.
prepare for information.
I'm like, it's graphic. I can already
prepare
tell.
for information. You need 2 fingers to make this happen. 2 fingers inside. I don't even know what that was.
It's balloon.
I know. I don't know what's happening. 2 fingers. Sorry, the recording is throwing balloons. So it was 2 fingers inside of the vagina to the cervix, and you had to do push on 3 and 6, you know, like as if it was like a clock. So like you would just like put pressure on those cervical points, and it would literally, you could feel it like increasing the contractions.
Interesting.
Yeah. So the midwife did it, and then she taught Andrew how to do it, and then she left. So we would just kind of do that every now and then, like just to see if we could kind of get it to progress. So it was progressing, and I was like, more in labor, but he still didn't come. I wasn't far enough ahead to push or anything like that. So the morning that Andrew was scheduled to fly out, I still hadn't had the baby. I'm still like dilated, and I have to drive him to the airport and say goodbye as I'm literally about to have a baby. And so we took him to the airport, and I was like, bye, love you, see you in 10 months or whatever, because he was only like 5 months into his deployment at that point. I was like, cool, see you in 10 months. I'll let you know how it goes. And my mom had actually come into town for that one because he was going to be gone. And so we drop him off and we leave, and I'm sad. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is terrible. And then 10 minutes later, he calls and he's like, I need you to come and get me. I was talking to the lady that was checking me in, and I told her that you were about to have a baby. And she was like, click, 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 click. Oh, it looks like you've been bumped from this flight, sir. You're going to have to come back tomorrow.
Oh my God, I just got the goosies.
I know. Like that.
Oh my God.
I wish I knew this lady's name, because I would literally send her a gift every year because
100%. Like on his birthday. His name. Yeah.
So she sent him back. And so we went and picked him up. And then that night is when I had him.
Oh my God, I'm going to cry. That is so amazing.
It was really amazing. It was literally like maybe 10 or 12 hours later I had him. But so we did more. We were like, let's go.
Let's do this.
We have 24 hours to make a baby.
Game time.
So we did more pressure points and stuff. And then things finally started to progress. I ended up back in the tub, really having super strong contractions. Like it felt like he was coming part way out and then going back in, and coming part way out and going back in. And I asked my wife, I'm like, what is going on here? I feel like I'm like 2 steps forward, 1 step back. And she's, let me check and see what's going on. So she takes a look and she's like, oh, she's like, he's still in the sack. Your water hasn't broke. Like he's still fully contained. And she goes, if you want, it looks like the sac is strong enough that you can have what they call a lotus birth, where they're born inside the sac, so they come out with the like still in the fluid.
So cool to see.
Which is so cool to see. And I was like, okay. And she's like, or we can just break your water and then, you know, you can have them like that. And she's like, but she goes, to have a lotus birth, she's like, you're going to have to work a lot harder.
Oh my God, that scared me.
That was really scary.
That like jolted my whole body.
Got me too. We told you it's stormy, guys.
Severe thunderstorms. Holy
Jeez,
moly.
that's going to be like the marker on our audio. But so she's like, you're going to have to work a lot harder because there's that extra mass that you're pushing through. So imagine a water balloon wrapped around your baby. You're going to have to, it kind of squeezes and moves like that.
Interesting.
And we were pretty far in at this point. And I was like, no, I'm good. I would love to have a lotus birth if I had my husband here for a few more hours. You know what I mean? So I was like, so what do we do? She's like, oh, we'll just break your water. And I was like, okay, cool, go ahead. And she was like, oh, no, you can do it. And I was like,
Excuse me?
I can't. I didn't know that was an option.
How do I do that?
And she was like, you pinch it like you're pinching a balloon.
Oh my God, I'm like...
Yeah, it's so crazy.
It's so crazy.
So I was like, okay. So I reached down and it was like a slimy, like water balloon kind of feeling, but you can't feel any of that. Your body doesn't have nerves connected to that. So it's weird that it's like something in your body, but you can't feel it inside your body. Mm-hmm. So I like pinched it. And I don't know if you've ever seen those videos where they'll put a bunch of balloons inside of each other and there's tons of layers and then they'll cut it real slow and the layers like snap open really fast. It was basically, it felt like that. You could feel the layers as you pinch it. You could feel the layers rip, rip, rip. And so it took me a little bit. And then she warned me and said, listen, when it breaks, you're going to feel
I was going to say, it's probably going to hurt.
Pressure.
Yeah.
You're going to feel like the water's going to go and you're going to feel its head
drop.
Bam. Into your pelvic. You know, like it's dropping in there.
Ooh.
And so I popped it and I felt it break. And I'm in the water, so like you can't really feel like as much, but she was right about the pressure because it went from reasonably okay to whoa.
Oh, Jess.
So it was intense. So then we got to the pushing part, and he was my biggest baby and my biggest headed baby.
Oh God.
And so I had to push a few times to get him out. It wasn't too bad. Like it was work, but so I pushed his head out. And then she's like, okay, let's do another push because his shoulders were just as wide, if not wider than his head.
Oh my!
So I was like, they talk about like the ring of fire when their head comes out. It's like it's kind of a burning sensation. And I remember saying, I pushed his head out and I see that his head's out, and I was like, why is it still burning?
Oh no!
And she was like, that's his shoulders. Keep pushing. And so I had to push again. So it felt like pushing out two babies, like one after the other, because his shoulders were like just as big as his head was.
Oh my God.
So that part was a little brutal. And I also think too, and this is something that I've always talked about, I feel like anytime you force your body to do something, it's going to be more difficult. Mm-hmm. And even though I wasn't getting pumped full of Pitocin and forcing my, like we pressured him to get out before
Andrew leaves.
He was ready, you know what I mean? And so it makes me wonder if I would have just been like, bye, babe, and then not tried so hard to have him when he was there, if it would have been a different experience. But it wasn't terrible by any means. It was a lot more painful and a lot more pressure. And just the emotional side of that too, I think played a lot into how all of that felt. So that one was very different because we were on a time crunch, but it was wonderful because he'd always wanted to have a son and he was there to see him and hold him. And then 12 hours later, he got back on a plane and left, which was almost as bad, if not worse, as the first time he left.
100%.
Because you were just like, oh my God, he just had a baby.
Right.
Can you go back to that one lady? Is that one lady working? So he got to see him for literally less than 24 hours before he was gone. And then he didn't see him again until he was like 10 months old.
Which is a huge difference.
Which a newborn baby versus a 10-month-old, those are two different kids.
Could you guys FaceTime at the time? Was that a thing? video call or
Yeah,
like,
I think we did video calls. I did a lot of Facebook posts and things like that, and tons of pictures. I have probably more pictures of him than any other baby because
because of
Andrew was
that.
gone, and I felt bad that he couldn't see him. So yeah, but that's the one that after I had him, we sold our house in North Carolina and I moved to Utah with my parents because it was going to be newborn baby, 2 kids.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I don't know if I want to do this. So that was really nice because my parents got a chance to be with my kids because we'd always lived far away since we started having kids.
Yeah.
So that was really nice for my kids to have a chance to get to know my parents and stuff and my sister. And then I got to be with my nieces and they got to get to know my kids.
That's a dream.
So that was
Especially
really,
with a newborn.
oh yeah, with a newborn. And he was such a good baby.
Really?
He was just so simple. As long as he ate and got a nap, he didn't care about anything else.
Oh my God, I love him.
Like he was a great napper. You'd lay him down. He was out. He was like, thank you so much.
Right.
Finally, it's nap time.
And some milk,
Yeah. Give him some milk, put him down for a nap. And then he had a jumper that you just put him in the jumper and he would just all day long, all the music. He loves music.
How
Even now he
cute.
loves music. So it's really funny.
That's adorable.
But so that was number 3. My one, I like to call it a naturally induced childbirth
That
in a
actually
stressful
is.
environment.
And that's okay.
And that's okay because sometimes life happens.
And sometimes it's opposite. You're in a
And
nice
honestly,
environment with a stressful induction.
if I would have waited, I might not have had a chance to break my own water. So look at that.
And you can say you have because nobody really can say that they've broken their
I know.
own
I
water.
haven't ever come across somebody else who's done it. And I kind of love that my midwife was like, you can do it.
Yeah, like she's like, I'm good.
Like,
Pass.
and it's not that she didn't want to or she didn't know how to, but I feel like she was always just like, it's your body. Like you're empowered to have control of this whole situation and you don't have to feel scared about anything and everything's okay. And she was so confident about that all the time that I just freaking love her for that. I feel like she made me just feel like, yes, I can break my water. Let's do this. So yeah, she was great. And then for number 4, Andrew was done with the military. We were living back in Utah, our whole family. And that pregnancy was the one that I did CrossFit through, which was really interesting because I've been doing CrossFit since just shortly after number 3. And so I was in really good physical shape and I was like, I don't want to stop doing this because I worked really hard to get to where I was.
Right.
And so it was so funny. I actually found the pictures. Maybe I'll share them on Instagram. But one of my friends was a photographer and she came and took pictures of me at the gym one day, like bench pressing and doing lifts and
With a
squats and
belly?
stuff with my belly out. I had it out because I had won like a free henna session.
Oh,
A belly henna
yes.
session. So I have all these cool henna tattoos on my
cute.
big belly. It was really fun. So I'll have to post those. They're pretty silly. But so for that one, I felt really good physically through that one. But that one just felt super easy.
Healthier,
Like my
then?
body was like, I got this. You're strong.
And it was your
And
4th.
yeah, I didn't feel as exhausted sometimes, So yeah, with that one, it was pretty fast. Like we obviously had to have a different midwife with that one. And we did another water birth. And that one was really cool because that was the first one that we had somebody do like photos or whatever, which it was
yeah.
just the poor doula that I handed my camera to and was like, here you go. It was more of a professional camera and the flash wasn't syncing and she was so stressed out, but she didn't want to ask me for help.
Aw.
But she was trying so hard and she was so sweet. And she actually got some really, really special pictures that I feel like capture the feeling of a lot of the births that I've had. And so that really makes me happy that I have those just from at least one of my births. But that one, I just remember I was in the tub. I was hanging out, relaxing. I was pushing. I think the whole thing was over in under 4 hours.
Wow.
It was super fast. And that one was really special because all of my kids were home for that one and they were all asleep. My babies love to come at nighttime. Probably it's like when I'm the most relaxed and chilled out. So that one was really special because I literally had the baby. We had to put the tub in the living room for some reason. And so when I had the baby in the living room and then they like tore everything down. So in the middle of the night, And then 4 or 5 hours later, the kids woke up, and it was so cute just to have them like all gathered around.
A little gift.
Oh my gosh, look at him. He's so sweet. And he kind of had gray hair, which it was like a really ashy blonde. And I was looking at him, I was like, is he just like a little old man?
Yeah.
Does he have gray hair? But it was a very interesting color. It kind of faded out and went a lot more blonde when he was young, but he still has ashy hair, but it almost came off gray when he was a baby.
How cute.
It was really cute.
You birthed a little old man.
But yeah, that one was really, like, I can't even think of anything wild or crazy. That one seems really boring after the other two.
Well, I mean, your body's probably like, here we go again.
I was like, this girl.
Come on, just get it out.
So yeah, but he was nice because, you know, it was a push, but he didn't have the shoulders like his older brother. Thank God. That's the one thing I was a little nervous about. But yeah, his was wonderful. Aww. They were all beautiful. So yeah, that's all the babies.
So different. That's so awesome.
Yeah.
Ugh. And I'm assuming no more babies.
No more babies. Well, after that one, I was like, man, I feel like I would be fine having more babies, carrying babies, birthing babies. I was really good at that part. It was the after part. I always tell people that ask me like, oh, we have 2 kids. Should we have more? I'm always like, well, how good are you at laundry?
Yeah.
And keeping your house clean? Because I'm not a crazy housekeeper, but, you know, kids need laundry done and kids need shoes. And if you have too many, it's really hard to keep track of all of those socks and shoes and clothes and all those things. So I always tell people, you might have enough love in your heart, but do you have enough organizational skill in your life? Because it can be really stressful when you're a very creative, non-organized person like myself, and you have 4 kids that you're trying to make sure everybody has the right size clothes and they have shoes that fit and they have socks to go with those shoes and everything's clean and jackets and all of that stuff. It's a lot. Also, when they get older and start eating like adults, when you go out for dinner, you're spending like it's a holiday because food's expensive and they're eating full-size meals.
Oh my gosh.
And my kids are bougie little eaters. They'll be like,
they are.
I would like a sushi roll.
Yeah.
I'm going to get the ribs. Can I get the adult portion of ribs? And I'm like, you're 12.
And they eat like
and
adults.
They eat like adults. And my kids, even though my youngest is 13, for the last probably 3 years, the older 3 have been as big as me or bigger than me. Like they're tall kids. They are adult-sized children.
Yeah, they are.
And then my 13-year-old, at this point, he's right behind them. Like he's almost as tall as me. And he eats like a 13-year-old boy. Like he can put food down. So that's the biggest thing. I'm always like, how much organization do you have? And then decide what kind of life you want to live. Do you always want to be stressed out about nobody having clean socks? Or do you want to have a few less kids and people can have mostly clean socks?
Yeah. And I'm the one that like he has to have matching socks on. I don't know why I'm so weird about that. I'm so anal with myself. They have to be matching.
Yeah. I was like, here is a bin of socks. Find some. Yeah. I don't even care what color they are, or a short one, a tall one, a yellow one, and a purple one. Just put some socks on. I honestly, at this moment, I'm like, I can't.
I know I'll probably get to that, but there's something about socks. And I've always been so weird with my socks.
Oh, that's funny.
Where I don't even know if you've ever noticed. You probably won't. But I usually wear my socks inside out.
Oh, that's interesting.
So weird.
Because of the feeling of that little seam.
Feeling of the seam. And my mom always said because she noticed it a while ago, like years ago. She's like, you wear your socks inside out. I'm like, Mom, I can't stand the thing. She goes, oh my God. When you were younger, she's like, you would fight me. You would put socks on, and then you would rip them to the side or like go like this. And I'd be like, stop. They go, no. And I would like literally like twist my socks so the heel was like on the side or like, and it was, all my socks are usually inside out unless there's a pattern or something and they're like high socks and I have to wear them obviously the right way. But I do like twist and pull and do weird things before I put my shoe on.
That's so interesting.
So socks are weird to me.
So what have you been cooking this week?
I actually made something so delicious last night, and it was out of nowhere. I don't even know what to call it, like cheesy potato dish, cheesy potato.
You had me at cheese.
I know.
It's not actually cheese, probably.
But it was so good.
You had me at cheese.
Girl, it was delicious. So I cut up potatoes that were already cooked, and I threw some broccoli, some carrots, onions, I think there was some, yeah, I threw some random baked beans and just like random other vegetables. And then I cooked it all down. And then I took the veggies out. And then I started making this nacho cheese sauce almost. It was so good. It was vegan cream cheese, which was made out of cashews and stuff. And then I randomly had shredded mozzarella cheese in there that was obviously vegan, and it was coconut oil and potato starch or something like that. And then I put some of my oat milk and I like cooked it down, and it became this like
stringy, cheesy sauce.
It was like melted cheese. It looked and smelled and tasted
What?
so good. And I poured it all over my veggies and made this like cheesy veggie potato bowl. It was so good.
That's so interesting.
It was delicious. It was and I'm not even exaggerating at this at all. It was the most perfect consistency of melted cheese.
Yeah.
It was so good.
Yum.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds good.
Yep, that's what I've been on.
Well, surprise, surprise. Mine also had cheese. No, the meals that one of my kids picked was fettuccine Alfredo.
Ooh.
And so I did some grilled chicken. And then, guys, I don't know if you know how easy Alfredo sauce is to make.
Yeah.
As long as you just watch the heat and don't turn it up too high, you can make the most delicious Alfredo sauce. Garlic, heavy cream, butter, Parmesan cheese. That's it.
Yum.
And you can play with the consistency. So if you want a little thinner, you do a little less cheese. If you want it thicker, you can do more cheese. Add a little salt and pepper. Boom. Throw in the noodles. Delicious.
Yum.
So we had that, and it was so yummy.
Ryan loves fettuccine Alfredo.
And I've been trying to perfect my chicken cooking lately, and I tried a couple different techniques. I'm getting there.
Yeah.
I've got to work on my timing.
Is it like in a pan, kind of like
in a
saute
pan?
style?
Yeah, where I'm just trying to do it in a pan. I saw this video where you sear it for 5 minutes on one side, flip it over, and then you add water and put a lid on. But I did that once and it wasn't cooked all the way. So I was like, oh, maybe I was supposed to let it sit. So I did that last night, but I feel like it went too far.
Oh,
So
the timing.
I'm wondering if I just need to trust the process, do it 5 and 5, and then just put it on a plate and just cover the plate and let it finish off. Give it like 10 more minutes and then check it. But I was like, I want to eat. So I didn't want to have to recook the chicken if it was undercooked. So I don't know. It was very tasty.
Chicken fettuccine Alfredo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. I wish I had mushrooms because I really like that with Alfredo.
Ooh.
That's kind of my favorite.
That sounds really good.
Yeah.
Ryan will put broccoli in his.
Yeah. I love the mushrooms. I don't know why they're so good.
That sounds so good.
Yeah. Ooh, I bet mushrooms would taste good on your potato situation.
I'm sure they will. Yum.
We'll have to throw some of those in next time.
Oh my gosh, that sounds so good.
So yeah, guys, let's hear some of your birth stories. I just
Yeah.
really can't wait to hear. Has anybody else ever broke their water?
Yeah.
Somebody out there, tell me, is it you?
Right? Any other cool home births or hospital births or on the way to the hospital kind of home birth in your car? I mean, what's going on?
Or did anybody have a lotus birth? I would love to see a picture
I've seen
of that
images.
guy.
Have you seen images?
I've
like
seen
videos and
pictures of
stuff?
it, yeah.
Super interesting.
Yeah, it's really cool.
really cool.
So, yeah, hit us up
Yeah.
and have a fabulous week.
Fabulous. Fabuloso. What's fabulous in Italian? Do we know?
Oh, I don't know that one yet. I feel like fantastico is a word I might have learned just
Perfect.
briefly. Fantastico.
Have a wonderful weekend. Or week, whatever.
Or week.
Bye.
Bye. And that, party people, wraps up another delightful episode of Parties to Playdates.
We hope you're leaving with a smile, a story, and maybe a tip or two.
Remember, life's journey is better shared with a friend.
And we're so grateful to be part of yours.
If you enjoyed today's chat, don't forget to rate and subscribe to our show.
Your support keeps our community growing and our stories flowing. We want to hear from you. Please send us your thoughts, ideas, and questions to partiestoplaydates@gmail.com. You can also find us on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at Parties to Playdates.
Until next time, keep embracing the chaos and finding the joy.
Take care and stay connected, party people.
Bye for now, and don't forget to laugh a little extra today.
Bye.